Hey, good morning, Jacques. How are you?
I'm doing outstanding. I'm talking to Garth Brooks.
Entering his second year as the LSU head football coach.
It was the only way I could get a foot in the door.
Joined by the icon, Kim Mulkey. Hey, Coach, great to see you.
All right, it's a beautiful spring day here at LSU Tiger Park, and I'm joined by Tori Edwards, who plays first base for the Tigers and is also off to a great start with her bat. Tori, thanks for taking time to meet with us today.
Of course. It's a great day out here. About to practice, so I appreciate you having me.
Never a bad day at the park, right?
Never.
Well, tell me about this team so far. You're off to a great start. You guys winning lots of games and scoring lots of runs.
I just think, as a whole, our offense, our team chemistry, a lot of people didn't know what to expect from our team this year after losing so many seniors. So it's just cool to see us kind of all working together, and, you can just see, all 9 on the field, all 26. It's just, we're all using every piece, and it's going really well. So I'm really happy.
Bryce Neal was on the staff last year, but now this year he's got a much bigger role. And obviously he's getting a lot of kudos for the way this team's hitting the softball, the offensive numbers. What have you seen out of Bryce, and how has he impacted your game?
I think just last year, he kind of just took, some of the things, and learned from Dobby and, what worked, what didn't. And then this year, he just has so much passion, so much drive. He just wants to see us succeed and do as best as we can. So he's just, he puts all his energy, all his effort here. He's always here. He always is there if we need to hit extra or just talk about film or anything. So really appreciate what Bryce has been doing so far this year.
What I heard from some of your teammates is he takes an individual approach with each batter. What works for you may not work for Macy, Bergeron,
yes.
and so it's not maybe an umbrella where, we just try to throw a blanket over everybody. It's really specialized for each person.
Yeah, I think that was really something that was important. That's something I value also because, like you said, like Macy or even Danica Coffey, we're not going to hit the same. We're not going to want to see the same pitches or take the same swings. So it's just really cool how we can kind of be ourselves and then use all our individual aspects and then play as a team. So it's really cool.
So last year was your first year here. And if you glance at her stats, you may think, well, was she a bench warmer or didn't play much or whatever? You had an injury very early. So, and refresh me on the injury.
So last year I tore a ligament in my foot. So through beginning of March all the way through June, the end of season, I was out. So.
And so what was the rehab like?
Just working every day, seeing doctors, did some sort of toe yoga, if you want to call it, but just a lot of resting. And so I wasn't really able to be on my feet a bunch. So anything I want to do softball-wise was just field on my knees or just hitting off a bucket. So try to stay as active as possible, but it took a lot of resting and just kind of observing from the outside.
Well, if you just hit a home run, you can just walk around the bases, right? You don't have to sprint.
A little jog, yes.
Well, you've hit a lot of home runs so far. You lead the team in home runs. And not only that, you've already surpassed the team leader in home runs last year. Technically, you're a freshman still. I was talking to Keontae, the SID here. You've got a chance to break some freshman records, which may be something you may or may not want to think about.
Yeah.
So how do you approach that in terms of just keep doing what you're doing?
I think, yeah, exactly. Just not changing anything I've been doing. Just keep preparing, just knowing the stakes and just how we're getting into SEC, how it's just going to get tougher and tougher, but not applying any excess pressure. And I think that's what's going to allow me to succeed the most. And then it's also just going to allow everyone else to keep working and also just keep producing like we should. So,
when you hit home runs, are you just trying to make solid contact?
Just kind of the goal this year, especially with Bryce, was we want to be a team. We just want to hit doubles, hit balls hard, really just focusing on exit velo and just being able to have a loud, productive offense. So I think for me, again, just trying to hit a ball hard, and if it goes over the fence, then it's just a little extra something to it.
You can't say I'm going to hit a home run this at bat.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't work, right?
You try to swing for the fences, you might pop up, whiff. So I think just keeping it simple, and then again just sticking to my plan and trying to hit a ball hard, and just does the job.
And over the years, people have talked about this park and the way the wind blows, and sometimes it's not advantageous to hitters.
Yes.
But you found a way to muscle it through the wind.
Yeah, again, just utilizing, knowing I have some power, and again, we just have heavy focus on hitting hard line drives, just again shooting for doubles, balls in the gap. So when it does find the right way, it will find a way over.
Makes for good audio too, especially when you hit them out here to center and it hits those aluminum bleachers.
Yes.
You know, clang. It just kind of puts a little explanation point on the home run.
Yes.
And then RBI, you're leading in that category as well. And despite all that, your average is still high. You know, a lot of times home run hitters don't have the best average because they strike out a lot, but that doesn't seem to be the case with you.
I just knew what my role was coming into this team. Like, again, like if we all just like utilize what we do, like for me, I was like, I just want to score runs, and like there's people who are going to get on base. So my goal was just to produce and score runners, and if that comes with a little extra batting average or hits, so be it. But that's just the role I was trying to embrace this year, is just scoring people and getting runners along. So
well, and then the team collectively. So for example, you go to Lafayette, you fall behind 4-0. In some other years, that could be a hole that you can't climb out of. But then you come back and score 11 runs and win the game easily. You know, I'm like, are they going to run rule them after falling behind 4-0? So that just shows the explosiveness of the offense.
Yeah, and we just never have a doubt with our team, like especially this year. Like I think it's always good for us to kind of like feel out those games and kind of be down sometimes. Like I always look at that as a positive, and I don't really ever feel like our team ever kind of just falls into a hole. So it's just really cool to see us come out of stuff like that. But again, like Coach even said it at the end of the game, like she had no doubt, we all had no doubt that we were going to produce and end up on top. So
this young lady is a great talker, as you can tell. She's a mass communications major. She's another person that's going to take my job. You and Amani Bartlett from the basketball team and some others, very good interviews. Let's talk about some of your teammates. So I mentioned Macy.
yes.
You know, her first 2 years here, her batting average was not spectacular. But, I mean, just even last night, she's from the Lafayette area and, has 4 RBI, has a bases clearing 3-run double in there as well. What are you seeing out of Macy?
Macy's always been a hard worker. Just like I've known her since like playing against her in travel ball, and just her confidence. And even before that at bat, like we saw a pitcher change and she was confident. She's like, I'm ready for her. I'm prepared for her. And the pitch I see, like I'm be ready to do something with it, and score 3 runs. So I love working with Macy. I just think we complement each other really well. We just kind of have a joke. It's like, okay, like pick who you want to throw to in this moment. But I just love working with Macy again. And then also she should get so much more credit behind the plate too. Like her arm, just catching, like Macy all around, just great player.
Well, I was told her nickname was the Cajun Cannon. Now, there was a guy that played quarterback for the Saints many years back named Bobby Hebert. He was the Cajun Cannon. So maybe we can have, a guy, and then we can have a girl now who's a Cajun Cannon there behind the plate. But you're at first base, right? So you're communicating with her a lot in that regard. Tell me about the relationship there.
It's just like I can always tell, like I can always just trust her. Like we just kind of have like our little system, and then she just keeps the pitchers comfortable, and she's just always working hard behind the plate. Like if a ball goes past her, it's like kind of a surprise because you're like, oh, like I just see her as a wall, and I just see like if I see a runner on first, I'm like, you're not moving. Like if you try to steal on her, that's up to you. But I have so much trust in Macy, and it's just so exciting to watch her play.
It's a little bit different in softball than baseball, right? You got to keep your foot on the bag until the ball is released before you try to steal. But still, it seems like she's eliminated that from the opposition.
Yeah, no doubt. Like she works on her throwing. Like she just like that's a main focus of hers. Like just all her tools she has. Like she's very focused, and she wants to be the best at whatever she can be at. So.
Danica Coffey, what a comeback story, right? The knee injury, and she's come back, and it's like she hasn't missed a beat. I mean, I could say she's never been better, actually, the way she's playing this year.
Danica, she just has a drive, like at the end of like she has the same goal that all of us do to get to the World Series at the end of this. But I think what for me is just most important was like being hurt with her kind of last year. Like I got to learn from her and observing the team, but she just has a different drive and different passion that you don't see out of a lot of kids. So it's like it's just exciting to see Danica succeeding and back on the field.
Avery Hodge, an addition from Oklahoma. She put one over the wall last night against the Cajuns. And plays on the infield. How is she doing so far?
I just think Avery's just came in here and like she was already just comfortable from the jump. Like she knew some of us, but she came in here with all her experience coming from OU, and she was just really prepared to like come into this team and just kind of have a leading role. So I'm really happy Avery's on our team. Like she works super hard. She's such a bundle of joy. So it's just really cool to learn her perspective of things and then just have her as a Tiger.
I know one of Coach Torina's favorite saying is winning leaves clues. So when Avery comes here from Oklahoma, who's won all these national titles, are you guys like tapping her for information and what's the key and all that?
Just learning, like she knows what it takes to get there. Like she knows the process, and she knows like how much like effort and buy-in you have to have, and how much it takes everyone, not just 9 people or 1 person. So it's just really cool. Like Avery just has like shared so much like wisdom, and like has just prepared us to know like what it takes. So.
Jayla Lassiter comes from Ole Miss. She was a Tiger killer last year. You were in the LSU dugout, right, when she was going off?
I was just like so excited to know that we were getting a player like Jayla. Just the energy she brings, again, like has all that SEC experience. So it's just really cool. Like I'm really glad she's on our team. She's also like Red Road roommate, so I just get to talk to her extra more. But it's just really cool. Like she's a fiery player. Like she plays with energy, aggression. Like her base running has been stellar for us this year. So I'm just really cool to see her putting all the pieces together.
In the circle, Sydney is in her junior year. Sydney Burzon. What is it like to have a leader like that leading you off? When you're in SEC play and through the season.
Just how Sid goes about her business and how she is on the field, like there's just never a moment where you don't feel comfortable. Like I just know she's gonna get it done, and I know like even if the game's not going the way she wants, like she's just still gonna give us her best effort, and then it just makes us feel more comfortable and wanting to make more plays for her. So I love Sid, like great person, great personality, like just hard worker. Like she wants the same thing, kind of like Danica. Like she knows the goals we want at the end of the year, and like we're gonna do anything we want to get there.
It seems like she's like this too, right? I mean, she kind of stays consistent, not too high, not too low.
Like you always just know like you're gonna get Sid's like best performance, like her best effort, and I just really appreciate all the work she does and just her attention to detail. Like it's insane.
Even her, a true freshman, she comes out, she fires a perfect game, right? Her first time out, we can be victim of our own expectations, or maybe, hey, this young lady is a freshman. She's going to have maybe some growing pains. But what have you seen from her so far?
I think the thing that's impressed me the most has just been her mentality. Like, again, like she's had some outings that like she probably wasn't the most happy with, but her just mentality to stay calm, and she's played in big settings at home. She's played in big SEC setting away, and just her mentality and her calmness like stays the same. Like she don't got a nervous bone in her body, so that just gives us more trust in her and like more comfortable for her just to go out there and keep pitching. So
let's talk about Coach Torino. What was her pitch for you to come here, and why did you choose LSU?
She just brought this like family atmosphere and just this goal that this team had, and I just really appreciated that. Like we have amazing resources here, like anyone can say that, and just LSU as a whole, but just what she sold to me was just the culture and the aspect I was going to get with this team, and like how I was going to be a part of a family and how I was going to be valued, and I just see that as of right now. And it's just really cool because I'm not like LSU was not a school I was looking to and like throughout my career, but it's just I'm so glad I'm here. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else, and I'm just really happy that I'm part of this family.
Awesome. You're from Dallas
Yes.
area. So who'd you grow up on saying I'm going to go play for them?
I wouldn't say there's anyone I specifically wanted to play for, but there was just people and like who play for certain teams that I just like grew up watching, especially like from as late as Jocelyn Allo, or just people like the people like Janae Jefferson, just the people with fire attitudes, the people closest to me. So I just think like I just observed kind of all players, if they played my position or not. Like for me, it was always just about like the body language, the confidence, the effort, like the attention to detail that players had that like always just kind of drew me to certain teams and like certain players. So
strength and conditioning. Looking at you right now, you look like you're a strong young lady. How much has that proven, how much has that helped you in terms of, if you're a weakling, you're not hitting home runs, right? So what has Melissa done with you?
Well, actually, I started out pretty early on. Like, my dad's a strength and conditioning coach, so, like, growing up, like, even starting through high school, just learning how to lift and, like, kind of take care of my body. But Mel always is just, like, it gets her so excited to lift with us and work with us. And, like, especially just last year when I hit that deadlift goal, like, it just brought kind of, like, a great team bonding moment in that sense. And so I just like how Mel, like, as we lift as a team, like she's just always looking for us to push us and get us stronger, get us more explosive, and she's just doing anything she can to make sure like we're going to be a powerful, strong team.
She showed me some of the stuff last year. I'm not going to do a great job explaining it, I'm sure. But like when you do squats and you come up, there's like numbers that pop up in terms of, the velocity you're coming up with and, different registering for torque and whatnot. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, she's taught us a lot. Like a lot of us coming in, like didn't really understand like the numbers aspect or stuff like that. But she just has taught us like the importance and why we do what we do. And that just kind of it gives us more comfortable feeling of like why we're doing it, and it puts more intention behind why we're going to do things. So I just really appreciate what Mel's done for our program, and she's just awesome.
Good deal. I see Sierra Briggs, she's dragging these
Yes.
nets out, and then I just saw Taylor Pleasance walk by. So these are former teammates now
Yes.
who are now on the coaching staff.
Yes, I just think like especially like they've had 5 years of experience with this team, and just knowing the ins and outs of the coaches and the program, and like they've been in positions where we've gotten super close. So like it's just also like the drive coming from them, and like they want the best from us. Like Taylor, just her knowledge in the infield, CC, her knowledge of the outfield, like it just brings two extra good and great opponents that like just drives our team to be better.
Well, last year you're one win away from the World Series, right? Getting back for the first time in a long time. And I think watching this team this year and talking to you guys, no matter if you'd start 40-0 or whatever, I don't think you're ready to throw a parade because you know how long the season is, and like you got off to an amazing start last year and you came up a little bit short. So is that just kind of always on your mind?
Not necessarily. I think just like learning from last year, like you said, like starting out super hot, like for us, like we're not trying to pay attention to the record. We're not trying to pay attention to the rankings, the stats. Like we're just trying to we're focusing on our team and how our team is doing in the moment. And like at the end of the day, it comes down to how we play in May and June. So just taking every moment, every game, and learning from it and utilizing that so that we know like when we get to the 3-game series or we get to our like the final potential game, like we just know like what it takes, and like we're just going to be the toughest team out there. So really proud of what we've been doing so far.
Okay, a couple more things we finish up before they start lining rockets at our head, right? We won't be in a safe spot out here. Especially if this young lady comes to the plate. We better break down and get out of here before you start hitting. But what do you like about LSU? Like, you can walk, you may bump into a Heisman Trophy winner on campus, and Jaden Daniels, and the baseball program as good as they are, and, the women's basketball with Angel Reese and, Flage now, and all different athletes. Gymnastics, right? Cool place to be?
Awesome place to be. I think just the sports here in general, like just the fans we bring in and the culture it brings, like from football season, volleyball season, all the way through basketball to softball and baseball. Like it's just so cool. Like people care so much here. They're so supportive of us. Like people are always down to have a good time. And I just think the sports just bring a certain atmosphere that you're not going to see many other places.
What's your favorite thing about Baton Rouge besides LSU softball?
I didn't really grow up much with like Cajun food and stuff like that. So just being able to experience like first time came in here, had some crawfish, learned how to eat that, love that. Just jambalaya, just learning from all our like local Cajun girls, like it's really cool just to experience kind of like the Louisiana lifestyle.
Well, crawfish, and now there's Sierra. Now she's getting help from Taylor. Taylor's helping with the net as well. Teamwork makes the dream work. Crawfish is always like the topic, right?
Yes.
Some people are like, I don't like, it's a little icky, and other people dive right in like it's the best thing they've ever had. So.
Yeah, I love it. It's crawfish, crab, shrimp, like I'm all in.
So she checks all the boxes, folks. Checking all the boxes here. Well, all right. And you're a mass communications major, and you want to get into broadcasting one day?
Yes, sports analyst, sports broadcaster. That's the goal at the end of this. So.
Good deal. Well, all right. Well, Tori, it's very nice talking to you. Thanks for your time.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Tori Edwards here, LSU softball. She's having a heck of a season, and so are the Tigers. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later.